We got some breaking news here in the Michigan Football Report, and it's not a Jim Harbaugh contract extension. That's the story that I was hoping to have on our next breaking news video. It's a second ongoing now investigation for the NCAA towards the University of Michigan football program. Allegedly, they think that Michigan violated rules prohibiting teams from in-person scouting. So you're sending coaches, or maybe because coaches are in the field. Hell, maybe it's Harbaugh himself, right? Those first 3 games, he was on the field. Where was Jim Harbaugh, according to the NCAA at least? And the buzz started last night. Kind of people were tweeting at me last night, early this morning. And then Message Board Geniuses, one of the great Twitter accounts that just screenshots crazy things that message boards people say, which, some of the biggest weirdos in the world, but that's fine either way. But say credible sources at Ohio State tell Message Board Geniuses that some major not good news regarding Michigan will be made public in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. We didn't have to wait coming weeks, Jack. It was only an hour or two after that. Here is the photo that accompanied that tweet. Jack, my eyes are not good enough to read there. Give me the basic bullet points on that.
Well, he says every 5 years he gets some credible source on some sort of story. He said today there was going to be a major announcement regarding Michigan that was not good. And it could be made public in the next 1 to 2 weeks, which ended up happening being today, and that he tried to get other details, not able to. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, and so, look, when I saw this out there, I've seen this account before, and they look like they broke Urban Meyer to Ohio State, I guess, back in 2011, and Chris Holtman, I wasn't really on top of that one. But this was kind of dismissed by anybody around Michigan football yesterday. I saw people screenshot some things from these message boards, etc. Oh, this is just crap. This is Ohio State trying to drum things up. Apparently not, because Ross Dellenger from Yahoo Sports, who I believe broke both Harbaugh stories, him and Dan Wetzel, the original one that he was going to be suspended 4 games, then he wasn't suspended, then he was taking a 3-game suspended. Ross Dellenger on top of that, so he must have a hell of a source inside Michigan football and or the NCAA. He says the NCAA has started investigation number 2 into Michigan over possible rule-breaking violations around scouting of opponents. Sources tell Dan Wetzel, etc. The NCAA alerted the Big Ten early this morning, and they confirmed with Yahoo Sports. So let's take a look. I'm calling this SpyGate Part 2. You guys remember the Patriots' undefeated season till the Super Bowl. Sorry, Jack, Patriots guy. After that season, they were accused by their former head coach, Eric Mangini, former assistant coach, of spying on Team Stein, stealing, all that good stuff. Michigan is being investigated for violating bylaw 11.6.1, which states off-campus in-person scouter of future opponents in the same season is prohibited. Big Ten Conference received notification of this investigation from the NCAA today, and they have then put out a statement, which we will go to here in a moment. So another investigation for Michigan football, the NCAA. This just seems like crap to me. This just seems like a vendetta, right, Jack? Patriots fan, right? This feels to me like, hey, it's not Georgia and Alabama or Ohio State, like the Illuminati, and we've used that term a few times recently, of college football that are on top. I know Michigan's number 2, but I feel like they're on top of college football right now. All the attention is on Michigan. All the attention's on Jim Harbaugh. When you can't beat him, what do you do, Jack? You try and take him down from the inside.
It's a witch hunt.
It is a witch hunt. Very well said by young Harbaugh, Jack Latteray, the best in the business. So another cloud hangs over Michigan football. Another thing Jim Harbaugh has to deal with. Now, other programs, or whether there's any validity to these allegations or not, whatever happens this season, oh, Michigan's cheaters, Jim Harbaugh is a cheater, bye. It's all a bunch of crap. And by the way, there is now rumors from the same accounts that we just showed you some of those tweets, some of the message boards, some of these Twitter guys that put out rumors on Michigan football. They are the ones that put it out yesterday that eventually came true. They're also now alluding to there is an FBI investigation that is the kind of counter or side by side with this NCAA investigation related to this story. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for some thoughts on those rumors at this point. If you are sick of this NCAA drama like I am, because this is just nothing, right? Do you think anything would have changed these last 7 games had Michigan had stealing signs or not? It was so clear they're better teams. I'm just sick of this. Teams have been stealing signs for years or whatever. Even if it was something that Michigan actually did, Who cares? The NCAA, you are irrelevant. So type F the NCAA down in the comments if you're with me and you're sick of the drama. So what are the accusations? Accusations, sign stealing. So the report says Michigan used unnamed individuals to attend games of opponents and possible future college football playoff opponents. So that might mean Georgia. That could mean a Florida State and Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah, a lot of schools, USC, that they were doing it. And apparently this year, because it has to be in season, apparently you can do it for next season's teams. Michigan could be scouting Texas right now in person. They could do it last year, or a team they're not playing in the Big Ten, but not teams you're playing same season. Big Ten put out a statement about an hour ago. It said late Wednesday afternoon, the Big Ten Conference and University of Michigan were notified by the NCAA that the NCAA was investigating allegations of sign stealing by the University of Michigan football program. That is the official Big Ten statement. They continue. The Big Ten has notified Michigan State University and future opponents. The Big Ten Conference considers the integrity competition to be the utmost importance and will continue to monitor the investigation. They have no further comment at this time. So as you see there, Michigan State was warned earlier this week. So this has been out there, right? Michigan State insiders. Justin Spiro, where you at, bro? Can't break this story. You've got your team's got the scoop on this. What did they call them up, Jack? The Big Ten calls up, or the NCAA calls up Michigan State, whoever did it, and says, "Hey, keep an eye out. Michigan might have been at your game last week, right? Because they're not at practice. So what's the thing? Or maybe they might have stole signs. That's what Michigan needs to beat you, Michigan State, because they're only 24-point favorites, and your team is an absolute disaster at this point. So change up your signs. That's going to get the win over Michigan Saturday night, 7:30 on NBC. I read the article 4 or 5 times to make sure I'm not missing anything. Key investigation items that I can point out. It all boils down to these two things. Did Michigan use staff, or coaching staff, or assistants, et cetera, or program loyalists? This was in the article. So what is that, like Harbaugh buddies or boosters or former players, former employees even, who knows, to go to games and watch spy and have the binoculars and trying to get the signs. Okay, cool. When they do this, et cetera, they are running the bomb, or this means run to the right, run to the left. I'm not sure. So that's one thing. Did Michigan actually send people to games? And then did Jim Harbaugh himself, was he personally briefed on what they saw? It didn't go through intermediaries, yada. Come back to Harbaugh. Did Harbaugh get on the phone with people, or Zoom or in person with the people who apparently, allegedly, went to games to spy on future Michigan football opponents? We're going to take a deeper look at who could have been the rat here, and some more of my thoughts on this FBI investigation. But I did want to tell you about this. It is Prize Picks, today's sponsor, the ultimate daily fantasy sports platform that takes your passion for sports to the next level. With Prize Picks, just select your favorite athletes in the college or pros and make predictions on their performance for a chance to win big. Prize Picks is simple and it's flexible. You don't need to worry about complex lineups each week or competing against the expert players. With Prize Picks, you just pick athletes, right? I usually stick to Michigan, Ohio State players, some NFL guys, and you just select more or less on the stat predictions that Prize Picks gives you. I'm going less on Russell Wilson, 224.5 passing yards this week. I'm going more on Alvin Kamara, his fourth game back, 53.5 rushing yards. I'm going more than that. And then Jerry Jeudy, we saw kind of what a clown he was on the sidelines. Was it last week, Thursday Night Football? So I'm going less on 48.5 yards for him. So kind of fading the Denver Broncos, one of the worst teams in the NFL right now, and showing some love to a superstar in Alvin Kamara, kind of getting his feet wet, being more part of the game plan with the Saints. I'm putting $5 on it. If I get those 3 predictions right, more or less, I win myself $25. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS when you download and then make your first deposit, and they're going to give you a $100 deposit match, up to a $100 deposit match, when you make your first deposit for using that promo code CLNS. Link is down in the comments and the description of today's Michigan Football Report. More details on this NCAA investigation. So 2023 opponents that Michigan has played already told Ross Dellenger and Yahoo Sports that they became aware, I don't know if this means during or after the game, that Michigan knew their signs, right? What plays they were calling. Sign stealing is technically not illegal, right? Just regular sign stealing, not illegal, unless electronic devices are used to give the info to players and coaches during the game. And so the specific penalty, though, it's not listed. If you look at the NCAA bylaws, it's a penalty, but it's not like, hey, if you do this, it's 1 game suspension or a $20,000 fine or loss of 5 scholarships or anything like that. So 2 teams. Who's going to Yahoo Sports saying, Michigan spied on us? We would have beat them if it wasn't for SpyGate Part 2. ECU, UNLV, Bowling Green. I don't know. They got a lot of Michigan staff, former Michigan guys in the Bowling Green staff. Rutgers, Greg Schiano seems like a shyster. I don't know. Matt Rule, him and Harbaugh have a decent relationship. Minnesota's coach praised the hell out of Michigan. Indiana, I'm not sure out of those 7 teams who I think it would be, honestly, who the 2 teams were that went and cried to Yahoo Sports. So what 2 teams were crying about their butt kicking, trying to blame it on sign stealing? It wouldn't have mattered anyways. It's tough to guess from there. I mean, some people were speculating on Twitter as I was trying to prepare the show. Oh, it had to be Matt Rule. It was PJ Fleck at Minnesota. I don't know. I mean, I don't think those guys. Maybe it was. Who knows? Those games weren't close at all, so they kind of looked like schmucks if, in fact, it was them. But we will see as this story develops. So what happened when Bill Belichick, right? The prior big major spying story around football in the past 15, it was actually 15 years ago, after the 2007 season, SpyGate, Bill Belichick, the Patriots. Belichick himself was fined $500,000 for SpyGate. The Patriots, which is the NFL maximum, they can fine any player, coach, owner, anything like that. The NFL also fined the Patriots organization $250,000, and they lost their first round draft pick in the 2008, the next year's NFL draft. Is this Harbaugh right here? Is this Jim Harbaugh? Is that what he was doing, you think, Jack? You think Harbaugh's sitting in the stands when he was suspended for 3 games? Ooh, oh, yeah, I got you, Ohio State. I got you, Georgia. I got you, Michigan State. We can't beat you unless we know your signs. I don't know what the deal is with the NCAA and Jim Harbaugh, and I don't know who the rat is, right? Because I told you I thought that the cheeseburger stuff and the Zoom calls with recruits during coronavirus, I thought that was Michigan's former, I'm not going to mention his name right now because I don't want to give him any street cred, Michigan's former head of recruiting who went to Mississippi State after Jim Harbaugh let him go, got fired there after like a year and a half as well. Is this Jim Harbaugh? Was he really at Sherrod Moore's house, or was he going up to East Lansing, spying on Michigan State, playing against Central Michigan, or something like that? Now, I mentioned this a few moments ago. Some people, right, I don't want to give anonymous Twitter accounts too much credit, but some of these anonymous Twitter accounts, they were putting out this word last night, right? They don't want to do it under their own name, whatever. They are now speculating that there's a, I guess, parallel FBI investigation. That's how the NCAA got involved regarding criminal behavior, right, by a former Michigan staffer. And no one that I have seen has kind of connected the dots here, but is there any chance that this entire thing is somehow related to the Matt Weiss situation? Now, this season doesn't make sense because Weiss hasn't been with the program since January. He was fired after an investigation and a raid in his house for computer crimes. 10 months later, we still have absolutely no information on what crimes were alleged or charged with or what the status of that criminal investigation was. But he was released from the program as co-offensive coordinator. And that kind of makes sense to me, right? To be an NCAA violation, it has to be electric. It has like electronics have to be involved, right? And you have to do it in person. Matt Weiss, computer crimes. Well, computers are electronics. I don't know. Something to keep an eye out for, right? I'm a big dot connector in life. It seems like maybe there's something here that could connect to that, shady situation back in January that we still have no information about. Although the one dot that doesn't connect is why is it related to the 2023 opponents and the 2 opponents that are going behind, going backdoor and telling the Yahoo Sports that Michigan may have stolen their signs. I'm not really sure. But if the FBI is involved, maybe that's the case. I don't know. I just don't know what to make of it. But I just thought those dots made a little too much sense to not bring them up. But I just want to know, who is the rat here, right? It's got to be somebody from in and around the Michigan football program, because the NCAA or the FBI is just not going to start an entire official investigation on Michigan by some coaches saying, Michigan knew our signs, they knew our plays. That's just not going to happen. They've got to have something credible that someone says, I know for a fact and I can prove it that Michigan was sending staffers or former players or friends of Jim Harbaugh to games They were spying with binoculars. We got pictures of Harbaugh. Put up the picture again, Jack. We got pictures of Jim Harbaugh. Maybe he sent Belichick, right? You never know. Maybe he sent Belichick on a Saturday to do this, got the signs, and then, hey, we use that same sign this week, this play. Boom, you saw 10-yard loss. Michigan's defense is all over it. Or, boom, touchdown for Michigan because they knew what our defensive calls were. That just seems like there's got to be a rat either inside the program or someone went to a Michigan opponent inside Michigan, told a Michigan opponent for some reason, vendetta on Harbaugh, I don't know, and the opponent decided to call up the NCAA. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a yes or a no down in the comments. Is Michigan guilty of these accusations? Let me know what you guys think on this because it's all breaking news. I'm just kind of giving you my opinion and what we know, taking all this information and just ciphering it down to the important points on this subject. But we think about who the rat is here. I found this a little interesting. I went back to the archives and looked at a quote from 2 seasons ago, the 23 seasons ago, I guess it is, after the Ohio State-Clemson game, the second one, the 2020 season. Justin Fields, the Chicago Bears quarterback, he says, yeah, we didn't want them stealing our signals, and that's pretty much why we huddled up a little bit more than we usually do. So Fields and the Ohio State offense, they were huddling up instead of going no huddle, getting the signals from the sidelines. Well, why was that? Because Clemson, most notably Brett Venables, has been accused of sign stealing over the years, been accused of it in his 2 seasons at Oklahoma in some regards, although nothing substantial or credible has come out of it. And it just puts me to this point. Is Ohio State, we saw that they were trying to make accusations 3 years ago on this. Are they so down and out? Are they so desperate to knock Michigan off their perch that they are trying to make these crazy, wild accusations about Michigan to the NCAA? So they're my top rat suspect right now. Ohio State is my top suspect that someone around that program is going to the NCAA. The only way Michigan could beat us the last 2 years is stealing signs. Get rid of Harbaugh, suspend him. That's my Ryan Day impersonation because he is kind of on the hot seat if he loses this game against Penn State this week or down the line on November 25th against Michigan. It's always beat Ohio State again around here at the Michigan Football Report. So if you guys are with me on this one, go down in the comments, light it up. All right, type Bosa in the comments. Type it as many times as you can. Spend 5 minutes. Just type Bosa 50 times because I just think we just need some good vibes out here. We just need to remind all these Michigan football fans, all the people that are going to come troll the comment section. They're going to come in there. Harbaugh's a cheater. Michigan State would beat you, but you're a cheater. SpyGate 2.0. Harbaugh's a criminal. It's coming in the comment section. I got to go through them, delete some of them, etc. So light it up with Bosa's to drown out all the haters and losers, of which there are many, who come to gloat on these Michigan football NCAA accusations around SpyGate Part 2. One more time here with the photo, the GIF here. Is that Jim Harbaugh? Is that Bill Belichick? I don't know, Jack. My top suspect for being rat, it could be Belichick himself. He's free on Saturdays. They don't play Labor Day weekend in the NFL. That could be the guy. Maybe he went down the the 80. Maybe he took 80 West to Bowling Green, sat in the stands for one of their games, spied on Bowling Green, and Scott Loeffler found out about it. Told the NCAA, told Yahoo Sports. We might have a video later today here on Thursday when more information. I'm going to try and contact some of my sources, see if we can get anything that the general public doesn't know yet. So make sure you stay tuned to the Michigan Football Report here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, damn it. This is why you subscribe. It is Michigan Football Report, breaking news. I'll have one more video for you at least tomorrow. I'm going to do a game day video for you on Saturday morning and have as much information on this as we possibly can if we can get a second video out today. Till I talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Go Blue.